You're not on the field, court, or ice.
CWall.
You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Listen, we are already in here doing the most. If you've seen any of the videos that I've posted on my page, then you know we are already having a very grand time. So hello, CWall family. What's up? It's good to see y'all. Listen, we got a full house up in the studio today. Like, seriously, as you can see, I have a very special guest today.
I'm very special.
Of course you are.
Thank you very much for being very special.
Former Washington Redskins receiver Darnarian McCants. We don't talk about the other team that he used to play for, only the Redskins. Okay? Also in the building, drum roll please, we have the 87 TV Network family. Gerard and Holly is here. Joy from the CWall team is here. And yes, the originator, Sherrod, is here too. I can't even believe it.
That's because that's Del State love. That's all it is. Del State. That's DSU.
Listen,
no.
He came in for Darnarian. He didn't come here for the rest of us. Right. Special appearances, special occasion. That's the only reason why he's here. Listen. But I appreciate that. And listen, we gotta shout out all of our people. Darnarian, you can see I'm always twisting and turning on this here computer and multitasking and making sure. Listen, first we always got to shout out my mother. My mother watches every single show.
All right. Hi, Mom.
So hey, Mom. Every single show, my mom is the first one.
That's called support.
On, yes, that is the ultimate support. And then my Aunt Sis, she's on line too. And some of the biggest Redskins fans you ever want to meet, John Adams, Cameron Mingo. They are all, the OG John Adams. And Cameron Mingo and other folks are going to be chiming in and joining in the conversation. You guys make sure you comment with any questions that you have for Darnarian because we're going to have fun. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff and we're ready to get started. Also, make sure you share the show with your DC sports loving family and friends so they can join the conversation live. Because you can always watch it later, but it's best when you watch it live. Because we can't help ourselves sometimes up in here. So, Sydney Stewart is already saying, my guy D-Mac.
That's my man.
So, see?
Sid Vicious.
Welcome to the CWall family, Sid Vicious. So happy to have you. So, let's go ahead and get started. Listen, you sent me your bio. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Sherrod had already given me just, all the background information. I am a diehard DC everything sports fan, so I know who you are. So I was just like, okay. But just totally impressed with everything you've done across your career.
Appreciate it.
So we can start with all the way at Arundel High School. You can start all the way there. And just 1 year of varsity football?
Yeah.
1 year of varsity football, right? And did you even imagine 1 year varsity football going into undergrad? Did you think I'm going to be an NFL wide receiver one day?
No, that's what I try to explain to the kids. That's why, this whole thing where I got to focus. You focus on what? I was a 3-sport athlete. I made state in football, basketball, and track.
3 sports.
And I got a scholarship for football and basketball. But I was going with the free money.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't banking on, okay, I got to do this or this is nothing. For me I was just a monster of an athlete and I was a monster competitor. So that's what got me to the next level because I'm a basketball head all day. So when I went back home, which is Howard County, Columbia area, they was like, yo, when you start playing football? I was like, as soon as they signed a check for me to go to school for free, that's when I started playing football. And it didn't matter because the ultimate goal, my purpose was to get my degree. So I was going to use my body as a tool to pay for school. So that's what I did.
Right. That's awesome. So, gotta shout out your undergraduate institution. Where did you go?
DSU, no. Delaware State University, HBCU.
And what do y'all know about me? I'm an HBCU fanatic.
Gotta be.
It's a whole lot of HBCU love in here.
Y'all getting that on the video?
That's what it's I love it. It's awesome. So coming from an HBCU,
yes, ma'am. What
was that like going into the NFL? We know that HBCU representatives across the league, they're few and far between across all sports. So what was that like for you?
I'm gonna say physically, it really wasn't much change. It was more the mental side, and then also the political side. So for me, when I first got there, can I say certain things or y'all edit? Is this a family show?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, okay.
It's live.
No,
Anything can happen. I done told y'all my mama is watching.
Yeah, it's not graphic, but it's
But
just,
that's really just for me.
All right.
It's not for you.
It's not too graphic, but it's just basically so.
But no, go ahead. Be you.
Right. So when I got drafted, right, I was, like I said, I'm from Delaware State University. I'm looking at Penn State. I'm looking at Florida State. I'm looking at Clemson. So I'm like, they not holding on to me. I'm from Delaware State. I'm going to get this little bit of check for this, for this training camp, and then I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna be a teacher, because that was what I had my degree in. But Coach Schottenheimer pulled me to the side. He said, "Hey, D-Mac, I like you. You have a work ethic like Ernest Biner. I haven't seen that in a long time in a young guy." He said, "Son, but if you don't let your balls drop, I'm gonna cut you." And I was like, "Oh, so you want me to play? You want me to play? So you actually gonna let me? You actually gonna let me stay on the team if I play how I know I can play?"
Right.
So then the next 2 games, I went and balled out, and he was like, "That's what I was looking for." He was like, "That's why we picked you up." And with Coach Schottenheimer, it was more of a character more than actually my game, because he told me that too. He was like, "I didn't pick you up because you could play football." He said, "You know how many people can play football?" He was like, "I'm looking for people who have character." And so that was the 2 things that he held my attention, because if not, I was ready to take my little couple $1,000s and go be a teacher. I'm like, hey, it's $90,000. I ain't never had that before. Shoot, I'm about to go ahead, get my little car, go find me, go get a little apartment. I'll be good for a little bit.
I'm cracking out. You could get your little car, little apartment.
Right. I already knew what I was going to do if I didn't make the team. But like I said, the mindset was just different because it wasn't expected. Everybody was like, hey, you probably get a free agent, and I end up getting drafted. And then unfortunately, like I said, the politics side of it is that if I did go to a power school, I get drafted first or second round, because at the end of the day, I think that year I was actually ranked number 19th out of 495 receivers.
Wow. But you did get picked in the 5th round.
Yes, ma'am.
A 5th rounder.
Yes.
So what was that moment like, getting that call?
Athletics was normal. It was natural for me. So they was like, okay, I think Steelers called me, Philly called me, I think Cleveland had called me, and they was like, hey, if you don't get picked up, we're going to pick you up as a free agent. And I'm like, okay. And then Coach Schottenheimer called me. They was like, hey, you are next round draft pick. And I was like, hold up, let me get your number. I'm going to call y'all back if y'all don't call me. And they was like, just stay by the phone. So I pick up the phone, and I see it on TV, the ticker go through, Donnery McCants. Then they was like, Donnery McCants from Delaware State University is drafted by the Washington Redskins. We'll return after this commercial.
Wow.
When D-Mac got drafted, we all got drafted.
I played too.
Yeah. So
wow.
It was like I said, I was downstairs in my parents' house playing video games. I was just waiting.
Just waiting to play video games.
And
that sounds just so like just what you would normally do, right?
I didn't change who I am. I didn't change.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. But how was that like, though? Getting drafted by the home team. Was it pressure? Were you excited? I mean, I guess it's all maybe pressure. I mean, I know you're like a known athlete, but what was that like for you?
For me, it was never pressure. It was more or less, now I can show off. Now I can grab, like, you know what I mean? You always want to take your family and do things with them, you know, at the highest level that you could possibly do. And
That's
then I was
awesome.
local, so, you know, that was one of the other things. It was like, how many teammates and players you hang with? I was like, I hung with them, but I was local, so I mainly hung with my folks.
Right.
You know, I was with my family and friends most of the time. Not, you know, not saying I wasn't with the players, but, you know, they was from the deep south. They had a different connection than I did because I was from around the corner.
Right. Right. Wow. 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 So, former NFL players, this is something we hear often about how the NFL is like a fraternity. So what types of relationships did you build is being in the NFL, and do you still have a lot of those relationships? How did it mature or kind of evolve over time?
Well, I'm not really a social butterfly either way. Even at Delaware State. I love Delaware State. I love all my teammates.
Right.
But I really wasn't just a social, so I was that guy that's cool no matter what situation I'm in. And then in the NFL, like I said, it was kind of very similar. Certain guys could understand me because I would be considered weird. So my thought process, my mindset is a little different because I'm an artist. So once they realize I'm an artist, then they kind of, okay, he an artist. So we accept my little innuendos and how I am. That's a little different than the average person. But for the most part, like I said, all my relationships are pretty straight across. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you like it is, and I want you to tell me like it is. You know, what you're doing. I'm always interested in people's health. Like that's always me. So when I ask you, I'm gonna ask you how you feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not like, hey, you know, are you broke? You know, how you get, you know, no. You know, some people I know when I was playing, people would tell me how much money they was making. I'm like, I don't care. Like, is your health, how's your kids? You know what I mean? How's your family? How's your mother?
Right.
You know, like, that was always my concern more than anything else. And even still today, it's like, because, you know, you always hear when guys play for a certain amount of time, then they go broke. And it's like, dude, how are you doing? Because then you see stuff on the media, and it's like, oh, well, he's doing this. And I'm not going, that's your business. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to know how your health is. And if you healthy, you'll work it out because as an athlete, you used to work it.
Right.
You used to, you know, fighting through different and overcoming different things. So that's part of the nature of most athletes.
So you're saying something very key in my mind right now regarding health, considering today the Washington Redskins officially released tight end Jordan Reed. And given his history with concussions, I think they've documented, you know, or shared publicly, there's been 7, right, concussions for him. But just mentioning health with the different rule changes and such in the NFL, do you think they really are taking a very deliberate attempt at making sure these players are staying healthy?
They're definitely making a deliberate attempt because, like I said, the whole thing stemmed because they lied. They said, oh, you know, football, just like any other experiment, hey, as long as it's my product, it doesn't cause problems.
Right.
And 20 years ago, they already knew soccer caused concussions. So what you think 2 grown men, 300 pounds, colliding each other full speed is going to do to your head? And even still hitting the ground. So now they're trying to make amends. But I think they're doing a pretty good job for the most part. But at the same time, the athletes have gotten softer because there's no longer collisions. So if you notice, a lot of them are hurt all the time. So it's like a callus. If you keep wearing at it, eventually that skin gets tougher, and you know you don't tear the skin as much. But now if I keep my hands nice and soft and keep them in gloves and Vaseline, and so when I take them off and I try to lift weights, it's gonna tear my skin.
Right.
And that's what's happening to the kids.
Right.
The kids are getting softer, and that's not a knock. That is the reality because the human body. Looking at the guys in the 80s and 70s, I might not have been able to play because they was allowed to clothesline, spear, cut you.
Spear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'd drop their head on you in a second, and, you know, and it was legal. But it was part of the game. You had to be tough. Right. Now, but on the downside of that, you see some of the older guys, by the time they turned 50, couldn't walk. And then they weren't getting paid no money now. Not the money they're getting paid now. So, like I said, it's kind of, they get what I think the base salary like $430 now, and shoot, you might not even see the field, you know. And and as you get older, you start to realize, look, if I could just stay on this team as a practice, or you know, like I'm just gonna be quiet, lay my head low. I'm gonna see if I can get 8 to 10 years in, get that good pension, and not come out with any injuries. Man, like I said, that'd be the smart part. But like I said, a lot of times that athlete in you, I gotta be on the field, I gotta be the man, and nobody tells you look at the business. And that's what I started realizing later, like, okay, this is business.
Mm-hmm.
See, but for me, sports have always been passion. I'm only gonna play it if I love it.
Right.
I'm only gonna do it if I love it.
Right.
So when I started realizing, oh, it's a numbers game. Oh, it's a numbers game. They kept telling me it's a numbers game. I'm like, look, am I the best receiver or not? That wasn't a concern. It was like, okay, well, you costing us $750,000, but we can get 3 receivers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go. That's business.
Sure is.
That's business.
And we get attached. And the fans, fans, we get attached to players. We get attached to everything.
I think the fans more attached to the brand, not necessarily the players. It's some players I think you get attached to, especially nowadays it's a little harder. Yeah. Because it's a player, it's a new team. They're on a new team every other week.
That is true.
Yeah, so every other week you might be on this team, that team. So it's a little hard. I think more people are attached to the brand than, and nothing wrong with that, than more the players.
Right. Now, you were just mentioning a moment ago about the business aspect of it, and of course, there's life after football. You are living that life. You look great. You look healthy. You look like you're doing well. Share with us what you're doing now.
What am I currently doing now? I am an educator. As of August 21st, for about 10 to 12 years, I was a sports trainer, personal trainer, but I recently got an education. So now I'm an alternative education teacher, which is anybody who knows about the education field. They're not quite comprehensive, but they're not quite kicked out of school yet. So I work with those kids, trying to work with their behaviors and getting them to understand how to work and socialize in a network of a comprehensive setting. And also I have a foundation called the Finding Me Foundation, which I'm working on is literacy. When it comes down to literacy, if we get our young men, and that's what it's geared towards, our young people, reading before the age 4, before the 4th grade, we reduce delinquency and welfare recipients. So, and that's a proven fact. Proven fact. So the sooner we can get these kids encouraged at the generally the lower socioeconomic level, reading and engaged, we reduce delinquency. So that means we reduce the jail rate. We reduce welfare. So that means we increase the employment rate. And that's what I'm trying to look at. They say reading and all that's, illiteracy. I'm looking at the community of people who is affected, and they mostly look like me.
And so in what general areas can we find your activities and everything? Well,
right now it's the findingmefoundation.org online, and literally we're just starting. So the launch date, I gotta go over my board. Don't mark my words on this yet, but we're looking to launch it. I want to say April 15th, which we're ideally going to start in Running Brook Elementary, because that's the elementary school I went to from 3rd to 5th grade, and I grew up in that area. So I'm like, okay, they say go back and affect your community. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yes, awesome. Congratulations. As with Joy in the background, yes, that is terrific. That's tremendous. Anytime you have an opportunity to impact the community, you do it, and you're doing it. So that's awesome. Awesome. Now, are you coaching?
I'm coaching at Wall Lake, yeah. So okay. I went to Wall Lake High School my freshman year, and then Oakland Mills, then Arundel, so that's where I graduated. But yeah, I'm coaching. Been coaching track probably 10 years now. Yeah, something around that. So I've been coaching, training, football, basketball, track, the sports that I love, because that's my adrenaline. That's my juice. Give me my juice.
And so where did so everyone knows, football player, right? But you, like you said, you did track, basketball. Where did your love for the other sports come from?
Just a competitor.
You're just a competitor.
Yeah. And
just a warrior.
Right. And when we came up, that's what you did. You just went from season to season.
Outside.
Yeah.
Playing.
Oh, yeah.
Just outside.
Right. We went from season to season. So, okay, it's football season. It's basketball season. It's track season. So that's what pretty much I did. So it just never changed.
Well, that is true. We was always outside.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us might have just been outside talking, like myself. But you were still outside, walking up and down the street. But,
right.
Some of my most memorable games were outside.
We're outside.
In the street.
In the street.
Definitely.
Yep. There's nothing to go walk to the store. You stop by. Everybody's in the street.
Oh, yeah.
Playing. Might as well stop here. Watch them play football in the street. So, growing up, who were some of your favorite athletes?
Oh, man. Off the top, Dominique Wilkins was my guy. Everybody was on Jordan. I was a Dominique Wilkins guy. I just like to dungle people. So he was the human highlight film. I'm the human highlight reel. I'm just a little smaller.
I know that's right.
You know, and that was, you know, especially when you playing in the county, if you dunk with somebody, everybody, oh, they don't remember, you could have lost, but they gonna remember my dunk. So that's all I wanted. I'm watch your head. I'm gonna catch you. And then when it came to football, I was just a bandwagon rider. So, you know, Art Monk was probably my first guy. Then I'm gonna say like Herman Moore, Jerry Rice. Then of course, you know, when T.O. and Moss came in the league, it was always the bigger receivers, and I never caught on until it was that time to transition. So when my senior year, they was like, hey, do you really want to play basketball? You're going to be about 6'1", 190 pounds. You can find that on every corner. Or you could be 6'1", 190 pounds and wide receiver, and we don't find them at all. And especially at that time, like I said, you weren't finding many big receivers. So it was perfect. I was like, look, man, is the check going to clear? Cause like I said, it was no thought process of going to the pros. It was I gotta pay for school. My parents can't afford it. I can't afford it. If y'all gonna give me this money to play and catch this ball, that's easy. That's what we do every day anyway.
I know that's right. You put it in perspective like that, it is kind of like this is what you've been doing. So you wouldn't be doing anything outside of the norm.
Nothing was new.
And your work ethic. You've already talked about that. We already see that. You talking about everything you're doing in the community, so your work ethic was exactly where it needed to be successful in the league. I ain't mad at you. I'd have been tired after a while. Tired. You know, but just talk about practice, though. Like, seriously. I mean, not to be like, being in the NFL is hard. You know, and that's why a lot of people don't make it. You play all throughout your career, right? And then you go to college and you play then, and a lot of folks may not make it in the league.
I'm going to say college is harder.
Really? Oh, this is good.
No, college is harder because NFL you get paid.
True.
It's a choice. It's actually a choice.
True.
Because your body is your business. In college, you fighting to kind of maintain your scholarship. You also fighting to maintain your position because it's a freshman class coming in every day. Now in the NFL, you got somebody coming in to take your position every Tuesday, but you also contractually binded. So it's but athletically and physically, college all day. And especially the coaches we had, they were stupid. We were up 4:30 in the morning. I'm serious. They were 4:30 in the morning. We running until 6 o'clock. And then you expect us to play fresh on Saturday. It didn't happen. You know, so we had the perfect season.
You had to go to class.
Of course. Oh yeah. Right. No, right. And a lot of people grades suffered for that.
Right.
You know, but you know, that's just my opinion and how I saw it. You know, but it's a matter of, like I said, I live with a purpose. So it was like I can either let these guys defeat me or I can fight them too. And I wasn't gonna let you beat me. That's the competitor. I can't let you beat me. No, you think that you beat me? No, I can't let you do. I can't let you do that.
I know that's right. So come through, competitor. We're gonna find a new nickname for you. Look, all week, seriously, because this live, I gotta tell the truth. I'm like, Darnell is keeping me on my toes every time I turn around. He's gonna send the emails and the text. I'm like, yes, I'm available. Yes. I'm like, yeah, your work ethic is on point. Because I was like, dang, I said I was going to call him tomorrow. He done already emailed and called.
Well,
I like it.
But that's me, though. I'm always doing stuff, so I might forget. So if I don't do it when I think about it, I'm already on to the next one. It's already
on to the next one. On to the next one.
I go from teacher, I go from mister to coach to daddy every day.
That's right.
So it's like, I'm going to get called one of them by the end of the day.
So in today's sports world, which athlete just totally impresses you? Do you have any favorite athletes or athletes that you just watch, like love to watch playing?
Watch playing? I like Odell. I like Odell and I don't like Odell because he's so gifted that he can do stuff and other people try and they can't do it.
Right.
So people with certain talents, people you can't do what Odell does. You know, what's the other kid? The kid down in New Orleans, I forgot his name. The one in Houston.
Michael Thomas?
Oh, yeah. Like, you talking about just Mr. Consistent.
You talking about DeAndre Hopkins?
Throw it, I'ma catch it. Yeah. Oh, Hopkins, a fool. Yeah. Like, you know, like I said, I can't remember all their names because I don't watch it as much as I used to. Just don't have the time. But just watching them, their abilities.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the consistency is the main thing. And that's what makes a great athlete is the consistency.
Right.
You know, the fact that Michael Jordan could turn around 100 times and hit that shot about 98 times on a fadeaway. That's what made him great. Basketball, I'm an LBJ fan, and that's more or less off the court, really, than more on the court. I'm still 90s. If he had that killer in him, he'd be perfect. But that's why I say he can't have a killer in him, because then he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Something has to be some flaw in this game.
Right.
But you know, the reality of it, he one of the best on the court. Who else? I like Russell Westbrook. Yeah. Just because he a manimal.
That's his guy.
He a manimal, boy. Like he just whatever he got and drink every day is awesome. Because that Joker is gonna go 100% soon as the zoom, 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 zoom. Like, Russell, you tired? Nah, not yet. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So it's just like, you know, I like him. What else? I'm trying to think.
Seems like I see a theme. You like competitors. You like that killer instinct.
Yeah. Because, like I said, that's what I grew up on. You know, like I said, I watched Wayne Gretzky. I watched Michael Jordan. I watched Bo Jackson. I watched them all the time. It was like, what made them different? You know, and then I heard, you know, Walter Payton work ethic, Darryl Green work ethic. And it was just like, okay, so in order to be the best, I just got to outwork people. And that's all it came down to. In reality, my skill set isn't greater or less than anybody else's. It's my will and my purpose. And when, like I said, when I left Dell State, I wanted to be the best receiver to leave. And I think I came out like number 2. I never passed JT and John Taylor. And if they'd have gave me the ball my junior year, I would have passed them. But that's a whole nother story. I'm in my feelings on that one.
So most memorable moments in your career, what's a game that you were just like, man, if you could go back, you really think about that one all the time, in a good way or a bad way?
Oh, my 2 games, I had 5 touchdowns.
Ooh.
So against A&T, I had 5 touchdowns, and that was my last home game on Delaware State turf. And then versus Liberty, where it was a feeling in my body that I couldn't be stopped. So it was mentally and physically like, dude, when they hand me the ball, I'm scoring and you can't stop me.
Oh, I know that's right.
So those would be the 2 games that's always most memorable. And then in the NFL, my first touchdown was against Annapolis. It was on the post. Shane was like, hey, no matter what, I'm going to throw you the ball. Catch the ball. I was like, man, just throw it. I'm going to go get it. Like, that's what I do. I'm like, I ran that post, stuck him, caught the ball in the back of the end zone, threw up the Dell State sign. Oh, yeah, I always do it at Dell State, like, you know, D. And only Dell State probably got it if it was that era, too, because I'm pretty sure it changed after that. But
right.
I let everybody know where I'm from.
I know that's right. You should rep Dell State real hard.
All day, every day.
Almost as hard as I rep Hampton.
Well, but this is my thing.
I just had to throw it in there.
Of course, ain't nothing wrong with you know.
Say something. I just had to say something.
You know, the fake HU.
Oh, gosh.
Well, they started off as an institution, if I was, you know, so they weren't quite a university. So that's just a little bit of history I know. I don't know too much about Hampton. You know.
Oh man. Do we have any questions? I don't want to kick nobody off if there's. Okay, Joy has a question.
How can the fans keep up with you? Where are you on social media?
Social
People
media,
can start following you right now.
You can find me at Coach McCants, anywhere on Coach McCants. I'm Coach McCants because, like I said, I've been a personal trainer for the last 10 years, so that everybody else called me Coach McCants. So I was like, you know what? That's my new name. Okay. Because Darnarian, most people spell it wrong or incorrect, and they try. I can't find you because you spelling my name wrong. Okay. So I made it simple. Coach McCants. Spell Coach, spell McCants.
One more question. And will Coaching from the Couch have an exclusive announcement before your website goes live in April?
The website is up. No, the website is up.
For the launch, I mean.
Yeah, the launch. Yeah, I invite y'all. Y'all come out. We need some money.
Yeah. I'm going to come out there.
Yeah, we need
You
some
said
money.
April 15th? I was like, that's tax day. Now I have a whole new meaning for April 15th.
Oh, then it might be May then. If
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted something else to think about other
No,
than
that's what I'm
tax
saying. Like,
day.
that's why I have a board members. Because I couldn't.
He's my team. Listen.
Right. Yeah.
Having a team, having a board is important.
Right, because they keep you
Seriously.
straight. Because like I say, my 2 guys, my man Donald Wallace, I went, known him for 30 years. And my man Richard Mason, we've been tight since college. And, Ironically, he plays DB.
Awesome.
But
Shout out to Rich, man.
oh, you know Rich? Yeah. Rich Mason, yeah, he worked with me, man. And like
That's
I said,
awesome.
their thought process is the opposite of mine. So they slow me down because I'm big picture. They step by step. So they ask questions I wouldn't ask. So I'll be like, look, let's go. And they be like, no, hold up. I'm like,
Right.
what's wrong? They be like, but did they do this? And I did it. I'm like, well, y'all ask, man. Like, look, I'm ready to go. They was like, yo, but what about this? What about? I'm like, all right.
But it sounds like that's exactly what you need.
Oh yeah,
I
like
That's good. That's awesome.
The fortunate part about myself is that I know what I don't have. You know what I mean? I know
That's
my
good.
weakness. So I need people around me to fill that void. You know, because organization and all that stuff, not gonna work for me.
I mean, that's a leader's mentality right there. You letting us know. We already know you're a leader. You've been here talking about all the right things.
I appreciate it.
Work ethic, character, all of that. And giving back is huge, and knowing your weakness. And getting your team together to help you do, you
can't
do all those
need a
things.
team.
Holly got a question.
And helping out the kids.
That's
Oh,
right.
always.
You
Well,
got to.
That's the only thing that's going to change the future. Yeah, if we don't tell them, see, this is my issue with people over 60. So when I started talking to people over 60, they know the reality of, like, I'm talking about my parents mainly. I just ain't gonna say them directly. So, but they didn't tell us that we still had to fight.
Oh yeah, you're right. You
They-
thought it was sweet.
I never got the information until I got to Delaware State University, and then I'm like, hold up, Jim Crow ended in 1965. My mother was born 64. So I'm like, hold up, why didn't you tell me about Uncle Jim? You know what I mean? And then, and like I said, and then the
Yep.
what is it? Desegregation of the schools or whatever they call it. Yeah. Which killed the community. So I'm like, so that means I have to teach the young folks, okay, this is what happened. Now this is how we live from this point. Because that's the problem. We keep getting miseducated. And with the miseducation, we think everything, oh no, everybody should be. No, but they ain't never treated us like that.
Right.
So, okay, if they don't want to play, like let's say, if they don't want to play fair with their ball, let's get our own ball.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they don't want us playing with their ball, keep your ball, sir. Hey, we gonna go down to the store, we gonna get our own ball.
Yep.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody else do it.
Right.
So why can't we?
Right.
So, that's all I'm saying. Nothing too crazy. Just let's get your own ball. You know,
Yep.
what's my man, Tyler Perry? Oh, I've been on Tyler Perry. Everybody, he dressed like, I said, regardless, watch what he do. And I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. All of them was hating on him. He's D-Match. Cool. That's how you want to call it. Whatever he did.
Yeah.
He got the money. He built a studio for himself.
Yeah.
And all the producers and directors before him was begging Hollywood, please, come on, I want to make a movie. Please, let's make a movie. Just give me some money. And I'm getting sick of hearing people begging, oh, the Oscars, why don't they have, it's not enough diversity. Then get away from it. If they don't want to play with you, stop trying to play with these people. They letting you know what they think of you. Mammy, weak woman, bad cop. They let you know what they think of you. But you keep fighting. There's no inclusion because they don't want to include you. Stop trying to fight these people. You have enough money sitting right there. If you put your money together, guess what? You can make what Jamie Foxx say. Make an Omar's. That was Jamie Foxx said. He said, if they don't want to give you an Oscar, make an Omar's. I was like, bet. I'm with Jamie. So, that's it.
About to do the Omars.
Yeah, let's go to the Omar's.
We're going to the Omars. We're gonna do it down here at the wharf. Matter of fact,
And
at
do
the
it in
Anthem.
DC, baby. Yeah. Because everybody keep forgetting that DC had a musical history before the Harlem Renaissance, but they don't put that in the paper. They don't put that in history.
As you all can see, Darnarian is extremely educated. We've been learning from him since we all walked up to the building to walk in the studio.
Conversations we need to have.
Conversations that we absolutely need to have.
More than athletics, more than sports, community, social justice.
Everything.
I was about to call him Umar McCants.
Okay, Umar McCants. But no, I mean, you've been giving a lot of. We have to almost get ready to close out. But you've been dropping gems the entire time. So I hope folks have been paying attention to you with intention, because everything you've been saying has a connection to leadership and just what needs to be done in the community overall, and the types of examples that we all need to lead to help each other, and especially our young people.
Oh, yes, man.
Because there's a lot of bad examples being highlighted
Of course.
every day on every single platform. So
Because we don't
the
own the
positive
media.
things, right? In comes CWall Sports and Entertainment. At least from this
Yeah. That's why everybody got a podcast. Daggone right.
Exactly. Listen, Darnarian, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This is not going to be, this is the first time, but it most certainly will not be the last time,
For sure.
because now we're going to be bothering you. I'm going to be like, hey,
It's all great.
what's up?
I'm not
Send us the
scared
launch
I'm not scared of
information.
the camera. Oh, look here. I'm inviting everybody. I'm talking about
Oh,
everybody.
we coming out.
Yeah.
It's all a network.
It's all in network, building relationships, and this is what it's all about. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all had as much fun as we did. I don't know if you did, because we were having a whole lot of fun up in here. So it's never a dull moment in DC Sports. You're exactly right.
I'm trying to help somebody.
All right now.
Let them know. Let them know. You all, we will see you guys next week.
You're not on the field,
Yeah.
court, or ice.
CWall.
You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC
Y'all
sports
already
teams
know what it
from
is.
the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.